All right, we're live. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me tonight? It's been a long night. Ooh, the data keeps coming in. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. It's all good, though. It's all good. Hopefully you like snow. For the folks in the Ohio River Valley, it's going to come at you a lot faster than expected in the morning. I think for many, across Kentucky and Indiana, parts of southern Illinois, and Ohio, it's going to get going faster. It's going to come down harder than previously advertised. Of course, storm ongoing. That's what we're going to be focused on during this live update. It's late. I know it's late. I'm sorry. I meant to get on like maybe an hour ago, but you know, it's a lot to do. A lot of data to bring in. I just updated the website. I just updated the blog. I just updated the final snow map, at least final pre-storm snow map. I'm going to share that with you here in just a couple of moments. And we're going to get checked in with you guys as well. I want to see who we have on. I've got to shut my system sound down for just a second as I bring up the comments in front of me because I keep getting burned on this. I bring up the other Facebook feed so I can read your comments, but it always pops the mic up. Always pops the mic up. All right, so didn't matter. Didn't matter because I did it anyway. Didn't even want to do that. All right, can you hear me now? Let me know how your evening's going. Who do we have on the program tonight? We are streaming live from Facebook, also on YouTube. And I'm not going to make this too long. People want to go to bed. We got to get up. Some people are going to try to go to church in the morning. Anybody going to church in the morning? It's going to be a little difficult. I was going to, and now I'm looking at these new projections coming in for the morning. And before church is out, I think we're looking at 2-inch snowfall rates in the Louisville area. Anybody hear that? Anybody in Louisville? I think we're looking at 2-inch snowfall amounts in the morning. By late morning, but yeah. In the morning, first part of the afternoon. Jim Perry says audio and video are all good. Rick, thank you for staying up with me tonight. I appreciate it. I've got Robert on here. Loud and clear. Thank you for your time and talents, he says. It's very kind of you. All right, let's get you started. Let's take a look at that old radar. This is, let's see. It's been running. It's been a little... Please come up, radar. Radar, please come up. All right, there we go. We're okay. So, old radar showing... These are all the warnings we have. This is a blizzard warning out here in Kansas, into the Kansas City area, northwestern Missouri, the pink. These are all winter storm warnings. It goes from Kansas all the way to, all the way through Virginia, all the way through the mid-Atlantic. The light blue, that's a winter weather advisory to the north of Indianapolis, to the south near Nashville. I don't think Nashville's going to have much to worry about out of this storm. And then there's the ice storm warning, but, you know, don't pay too close attention to where that purple is because many areas in the pink will also have major problems with ice. So we have a whole potpourri of weather to get to. Let's take a look at above the surface. We'll bring on the satellite first, put that into motion for you. And there you go. Let her go. That storm is just now beginning to crank. Get that low pressure going. We've got precipitation amounts going up as we speak as well. I'm going to get to those totals quickly tonight because it is late. And I'm not going to stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning because I have to get up fairly early and diagnose the situation then. Here you go. So we got that storm in motion for you. You can see that lift, that center of circulation located right here pulling out of eastern Colorado and into western Kansas. It's going to drop down into that surface low. We'll get going across northern portions of Oklahoma tonight. This thing is just getting started. Let's go on over to radar. I'll take off the clouds. There you go. You see the precipitation beginning to fill in. Most of this is all snow so far. There's a little bit of, I think, freezing drizzle and sleet being reported in the Kansas City area tonight. But all that's going to fill in as mentioned, and all of that's going to head to the east And tomorrow, boy, we really are going to have our hands full. Radar full, satellite full, model data full. Everything's going to be full. Ice bucket's going to be full. If you got one of those fancy measuring sticks, it may be full too. Some areas tomorrow, like really early in the day, is just going to jump up to like 6 inches of snow before you turn over to sleet and freezing rain. That's the big news tonight. All the high-res stuff just came in super hot tonight. That's why I put that in the title. And we thought we'd see a little snow at the front end, inch or two. No, it looks like you could jump up 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, like real fast, like 2 inches per hour. So this is going to be late morning into the afternoon tomorrow for the Louisville metropolitan area. It'll be a little later than that for Lexington. It'll be earlier than that for Evansville. St. Louis, you're going to see it early in the morning, late tonight. But it's going to come down really hot, really heavy. And it's going to cause problems. But it's snow, okay? And not particularly a wet snow either. It's going to be a dry snow on the onset, nice and fluffy. And then as we get into later in the day, really late afternoon and evening on Sunday, that's when we're expecting it to begin to mix with and change over to sleet and freezing rain, which is going to play a factor into your final snowfall totals. With that being said, let me quickly check in with our friends over on YouTube. Looks like we got a few people on here. Appreciate you all tonight. My man Jim, and I got Rocco Rockwell. Thanks for being on. If you don't mind a quick like and share, as always, it is appreciated. All right, so the storm of interest, it's remained a pretty good forecast overall. We have had some shifting that has occurred from north to south over the last 24 to 36 hours. That trend continues tonight. That's why on the southern end of this, it's where I want you to kind of focus, because I think you may be surprised by the amount of snow down here, maybe in Louisville, maybe in Lexington, where we kind of kept you on that 3 to 6, right? 3 to 6, you're likely going to get bumped. And some of those areas further south into central Kentucky, where we were looking at 1 to 3, maybe more like 3 to 6 now. And a lot of that's going to come very early, like I said, during the day tomorrow. So that will be a surprise. I'm going to show you these forecast changes. The model changes are really interesting. The high-res stuff coming in, and I mean huge changes in just a few hours. I'll show you, but we've got to believe it. And it's not just the high-res stuff. The GFS also did a huge change just in this previous run. I may show you that first. Let me show you that. All right, so the GFS, you all know that's the global forecast model. That is the model projected, or that's the American mid-range forecast model. So let me do this for you. I'm going to show you what the GFS was saying, and let's go back maybe 2 runs. I'm going to take you back to this afternoon's run, okay? And so, like, if you were living in areas like, I don't know, Louisville, maybe you didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. Here you go. So this was what it was looking like earlier this morning. So there's that GFS bringing in that nose of precipitation, and it's quite a bit, actually. Now you fast forward to tonight, and bam! Look at that! This is by mid-afternoon tomorrow. It's got 8, 9 inches of snow down here. And, why are you not working? Are you locked? Didn't lock you. Unlock position. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get my telestrator to work. Not sure why it's not working. I think I just turned it off. Telestrator, come back to me. Oh, I love my telestrator. I would hate to not have access to it. Well, maybe for tonight we're going to not have access to it. Anyway, you see that bullseye of 8+ inches of snow for Louisville, south, towards Bardstown. That was not there before. Okay, so this gets started early. How early? Well, I want to show you the high-res stuff, because the high-res stuff is probably at this point doing a better job. So we're going to go on over to the high-res NAM, who is also picking up on this idea. Maybe not quite as extreme as the GFS, but you can see snowfall here for let's say St. Louis will begin in the morning. Evansville begins in the morning. But you can see how it really expands into the Louisville area. About 4 inches of snow, and that would be by around noon. Noon or 1 o'clock, you could already have 4 inches of snow on the ground. And then you will see it change over before you see, again, snow redeveloping on the backside. Our high-res model changing quickly. So the high-res NAM here, and we're showing forecast totals through Monday night. This is what it's showing now. It shows 6 inches down for West Point, so it'd be 6, 7, 8 inches in Louisville. And you can see it's still showing some hefty totals across the southern Indiana. But that whole area has been shifting south, because if you go back, I'm going to take you back to just 12 hours ago. Look at the difference. It's only got a couple of inches of snow near Louisville. Now it's up to 6. Anyway, things are changing very fast. I have not seen the new Canadian. Here it is. That's an interesting look. And you can see how far south it's bringing that snow. Again, north of Indy, north of Columbus, you're just going to miss. You're just going to miss out on this. And that was not the case a day or two ago. And tonight, there are going to be many, probably embarrassed meteorologists up there in some of those towns that were buying what the GFS was putting out. And earlier runs of the Canadian, too. But now you can see clearly they're all going south, every one of them. So while I'm going to show you my map now. I think, let me see. Chris, that's what I thought too. Let's go back to that real quick. Exact thing. You can't help but think that. Let's go back to that GFS here. Yeah, right? Huh. It looks like we're about to get screwed. Anyway, with that being said, let me show you my forecast map. I'll take questions, okay? Because it is late. You guys probably don't want to hang out all day or all night tonight, because we have a big day tomorrow. The weather's not going to stop coming at us tomorrow night and into Monday as well. All right, so my totals for the region. There you go. I think I'm being pretty conservative here, keeping Louisville on the northern end of a 3 to 6. I see, northern end, so they're on the southern end of a 6 to 12. Okay, I really want to pull the trigger on Louisville, but I've been burned so many times. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there tonight, but that's a big area of 6 to 12. Areas just to the north of 64 in the southern Indiana, through the Cincinnati area, north of Lexington, Covington, Frankfort, and then points to the east, Ashland, Charleston. You go west, I think St. Louis is going to be right there, kind of on the divide like Louisville is, maybe around that 6-inch mark maybe, but it wouldn't take much to bring those heavier totals into town. St. Louis and Louisville can both be surprised here. These are, again, considerable numbers, and we haven't even talked about the ice. So we're going to start off with, it looks like several inches of snow tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And then it goes over to a period of freezing rain that's going to last for a while. Could end up with a half inch or more of freezing rain in Louisville, also in Evansville, also in Lexington. And then it's going to come back as snow on Monday and could get a few more inches there. So overall, I mean, this is a multifaceted storm. We got problems out the wazoo, and we haven't even talked about the number or the amount of cold that's coming our way as soon as the storm is behind us. So, it's going to be fun. Who do we have on the program tonight? I've got Rick. I live in Jeffersonville. I bet it still comes south, and Louisville gets a bunch of snow. I'm excited about it. Anyway, it does have a lot of earmarks, and I think I was one of the first ones to kind of bring that heavier snow band further to the south. But at this point, I just kind of want to hold. I've played this game for too long. Regardless, if you end up with, 4 or 5 inches of snow in Louisville with all that ice, it's a mess. Or if you end up with 6 or 8 inches of snow and a bunch of ice, it's still a big mess. Either way you cut it. How about Bardstown? I would put you probably closer to 3, give or take an inch on either side. But that's the way it's looking right now. All right, let me check over with our friends over on YouTube. I'll finish up with any more questions you may have. And then we'll pick this up tomorrow and we'll do it again. All right, who do we have in over here on the YouTube channel? Let's see. Tonight we've got Rocco, James. I've got, what is it, Slank? You, my new favorite weatherman. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And he's in Southern Maryland, hoping to get slammed. He said. Let me pull up my map for you, since you asked. Where's my other map? Oh, here it is. All right, so here you go. Southern Maryland. I've got you in 6 to 12, buddy. Got you in 6 to 12. So, yeah, it should be a fun time for a lot of folks. All right, who else do we have in the program? I've got Tim on here. What's Southern Illinois going to turn out like? Well, it depends on where you're at. How far south are you? If you're all the way south, like Cairo, you may only end up with an inch or two. But, you know, if you're like Carbondale or if you're like Murfreesboro, you may end up with, you know, maybe 3 or 4 inches of snow. If you're a little further north, maybe Mount Vernon, you could be 6 to 12. Yeah. All right. All right, with that, I just lost my ears. There they are. They're back. All right, folks. I've got Christopher. How about western and central New York State? How much snow will fall with the lake effect? We can take a quick look at that before we wind this down. Let's see. Let's go on up to my old stomping grounds. All right, and up here into New York, I'm gonna sample the European first, which is still showing a lot of snow. You see it? So it looks like, favored Lake Ontario snow belt. So what? Syracuse gets a lot of snow. What, 6 to 10 or something like that? Oswego, probably similar numbers. Less for Watertown. But into the Tug Hill, obviously some big numbers there. And, even bigger numbers on the high-res NAM. Let me go into New York State real quick on that, just because I'm curious. Okay, yeah, it shows about 2 feet in there somewhere, not far away from Oswego. So Rochester's going to miss this one. But a good snow. All right, Bowling Green. What will Bowling Green be all rain, he says. Let's go investigate. And we are going to go back to the Euro. You just can't go wrong with it. And let's go back to precipitation type. And Bowling Green gets some ice in the morning. Ice in the morning. Ice in the very first part of the afternoon, then you rain. And then you rain. Rain, and you'll get just a little bit of backside, probably flurries. I'm sorry if you were looking for snow. You're not going to see a lot. Just subbed your YouTube channel, which is better for you to have views on. Oh, question mark. I don't know. I want to really build them both up. I have been more solid on Facebook because that's where I started from. But I really want to expand my YouTube channel, and I'm looking for suggestions, and I'm definitely looking for more subs, so thank you. I wintered in Oswego in '83, and yeah, oh God, it does. I lived in, I'm trying to remember the name of the town. Oh, it's going to escape me. It's just to the west of Oswego. It is, Port Bay. Port Bay, New York, right on Lake Ontario. Yeah, Oswego's going to get hammered. James Perry would know. He's from that area. He's from right over there in the Tug Hill. What is that? What's the name of the town you're from, James? Jess Farlene, Troy, Ohio. And I can't place Troy automatically off the top of my head, so you may have to help me there. Okay, it's 11:56. We won't see that European forecast model for another half hour or so, but I really don't expect it to change much at this game, at this range. And so that's why, again, we do like our forecast, but again, I just want to be wary of some of these small scale, because that's what this is. Models have a hard time picking up some of these small scale features that can result in surprises. And so I really think the biggest surprise to me is what it's showing on the front end of this thing. So this is the Canadian here. And now the Canadian has a high-res version. Look at that heavy snow in central Kentucky. Even Bowling Green could see a little snow at the very beginning if the Canadian is right. And look at that. That orange is sleet. That tells me that freezing rain doesn't even get as far north as Louisville. It's just snow and then sleet. And then sleet and then back to snow on Monday. But there's a high-res version. Let me check that out. Okay, here's the high-res. And again, showing that heavy snow on the nose of this thing. And as far as, I know this one's been a little further south with the snowfall too. Let me see what it's showing. Okay, it's got, okay, that's not, that's 24-hour snow, total snow. So this model, you can see it really blows up the snow into the bluegrass section of Kentucky. It's got a foot of snow over Lexington and Richmond and Covington. We'll see how that pans out. The high-res Canadian's probably not my go-to though. I'm just gonna say that. And the GFS is just going bonkers all over the place with snow. Just crazy amounts of snow everywhere. Can't really buy that either. It's too generalized. It's not picking up on a lot of the small scale features such as that. I don't think it's probably picking up on enough of the sleet on the south, and it's not picking up enough of the dry air on the north, but that's the GFS, and that's why we typically rely on this bad boy, the European forecast model. It's the best of the bunch. It's got the bullseye right there in Jackson County. Jackson County, Indiana, you're the big winner. Jackson County, that bullseye there representing right there. Can you see my cursor? Hopefully you can. That would represent, that could be 16, 18 inches of snow. That would be a big, big storm. Redfield is the name of the town James Perry was from. He's told me some stories about the snow out that way. Good grief. They average like 200 or 300 inches a year. It's absurd. Anybody that's not lived in a lake effect zone could not possibly understand it. I've got Stephanie on here from Greece, New York. All right, good to have you on tonight. All right, well, it is midnight, and I did say that I was not going to run this too long, so I'm going to be true to my word tonight because I want to get some beauty sleep for tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, there's been a run on bread and milk, as you probably know, so hopefully you got yours. I also think there's going to be a run, if it hasn't already, probably already has been a run on sleds, right? Inner tubes. Got to do something with the kids. They were supposed to go back to school on Tuesday. I don't think it's going to happen. So, anyway. Julia, we'll see what it looks like in the morning. I'm going to try to bust out a quick video update in the morning before the snow gets too heavy. And then I will provide updates as I deem them necessary tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys being here. If you don't mind a quick like and share, that keeps me on here. And let's see, I'll do one final check over on the YouTube channel. All right, I've got Tim and Slank and Jacob hoping Fairfield, Ohio gets good snow. Where's Fairfield? Is that in the Cincinnati market? I think it is, right? And I've got Clay. We were in the right to fight the crowd at Walmart this time. Is that right? How bad is it going to be in Tennessee, says Tammy? You're fine. Tennessee is really going to miss this one. I'm sorry. Kansas City's going to get knocked out, though. They put us in that blizzard. Yeah, so, yeah, you guys are going to get it out there for sure. So let me know tomorrow how it turned out for you. All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed night. Do your best to stay warm. Remember, remember your pets, your fur babies, okay? Because there's a ton of cold coming in with this thing as well. And remember, the elderly and the children, very much susceptible to the cold, okay? Love you guys. Stay blessed. We'll talk to you again soon. In the meantime, you have a great night.